just step out of your comfort zone and go talk about these things.
Welcome to the Mission Zero Youth Project. I'm Terry Logan and I'm the Youth Engagement Manager for Happy Valley Pride. I'm also the one responsible for pulling together all elements of the Mission Zero Youth Project. So what is Mission Zero? It's a new fast-track health initiative led by a number of vital local authorities to end new cases of HIV, TB and viral hepatitis by 2030. Within this, the aim is to stop preventable deaths and finally end damaging discriminations associated with these diseases. Happy Valley Pride were tasked with capturing young people's voices and ideas on the issues. We invited over 40 young leaders from 3 different schools to have a conversation around how we can inform young people about these diseases, effective treatments and prevention. We also wanted them to talk about how we can break down barriers of stigma, how they might affect us all, and how we can create more positive and healthy attitudes. We believe the next generation are the future frontline of change and prevention, and therefore are one of the most important ingredients of the Mission Zero Action Plan.
To challenge a stigma, you've got to kind of understand the stigma. So I think that just depending on what kind of backgrounds you've come from, you're going to find that different people have different perceptions of a stigma.
People feel threatened by these diseases, so they feel a need to put a blame on something by creating this stigma.
It'll make them feel like they're ashamed and kind of like,
exactly.
well, like I'm the issue here,
It's like
when it's actually not.
Brought in. It brings so much weight onto them and so much, it just makes them hide and feel empty, feel like they can't actually receive the help they wanted.
Like they're not welcomed in society.
I feel like these stigmas they're really quite easily influenced by social media as well, so understanding, like being educated on how to understand when you're developing one is really important, because social media is really quite good at influencing you.
We need to have deeper conversations with students so they really are aware. So if you want to talk to people such as us, senior students, about these things, we don't have to tell anyone else, we can just talk, make sure you're aware of the situation that's going on in our world.
We thought that you could get a group of young volunteers together who are passionate about the issue and educated on STIs and how they can be prevented, and you could get them to speak to their peers and maybe slightly younger people on STIs, because they might take the view more seriously of another young person.
One of the things that we were thinking of as well with PSHE lessons was having them delivered by external speakers, and whether that be with people who have experience in sort of situations, or just people who are more our age or we don't see every day. Another thing that we're going to do is put posters in bathrooms to show locations of the local clinics, because I'm pretty sure most people have no idea where they are.
And we thought that if you put the testing centre in somewhere that young people are more likely to go to, rather than being a bit more out of the way, they might be more likely to go to it. So we thought we'd put it somewhere like a bus station where young people spend a long time.
And obviously you can get tested for free, so it's not like you have to have it. You can just go to for a double check to make sure you're all right.
We're going to try give education to the older generation as part of our enrichment project.
Our final idea is to make a podcast to address the truthful facts and breaks in stigmas, and have real guests to talk about their personal stories on the podcast, and that can also be completely anonymous. Then you don't have to be shy, you don't have to have an anxiety about it, just step out of your comfort zone and go talk about these things.
Students were also invited to create art and imagery that reflected their thoughts and feelings around the topic, which we'll also be sharing.
I feel like if we provide young people with more like facts and data about how it gets around, how it happens, and I feel like the stigma won't be there anymore.
Did you have any stigmas before?
I feel like before I came here, this is me personally from what I've been told, what I've been brought up around, I thought that HIV was more likely to happen in like a gay relationship, happen to gay people, but obviously coming here now, learning all these facts that we've learned now, I know that's not true and that's a stigma.
I can't express how brilliantly these young people rose to the challenge and created such inspirational manifestos of ideas, solutions and advice for prevention and change. Watching young people work together so purposefully and passionately is one of the greatest privileges we have. Their willingness to be so open and honest is something we can all learn from, and we know that the future is in safe hands.